Hey guys, good morning. By popular demand, I have decided to finally start a blog on fitness and just the mental well-being that comes with it. I'm honored that you guys are taking the time to watch this video and following my journey and sending me all sorts of questions that I am now having the opportunity to answer for you guys. I'm going to actually start this blog with my personal story. I think everyone sees this happy girl that's fit and does this so easily, and I think it's important that you know where my background comes from so that way you can relate to me. um, I, I come from a pretty interesting background, childhood, etc. And I'm going to start with my childhood. I was always on the heavier side. I was made fun of. There are all sorts of nicknames and just all sorts of mean stuff that was said to me. Tank ass was one that stuck, for people making fun of me. In middle school, I had such poor um, confidence in myself that I wore this black jacket day in and day out with a pair of jeans and put it just to hide my body. Didn't matter how hot or cold it was. I had this damn black jacket on. Moving into high school, I always wore looser clothes that were kind of androgynous type of clothing to cover my body. Then moving into college, I'm from a small town. We didn't get a McDonald's until 1999. We only have 2 stoplights in the town. So, I mean, imagine how tiny this town is. I got accepted to San Diego State, and I moved from a podunk town to the big city. The stress of college, having food everywhere, and I'll admit it, I was in TJ partying every weekend, and that just put the weight on, put the weight on, put the weight on. I wasn't in PE anymore. Like, I was partying and living large. I mean, living large. I started getting into my mid-20s and into relationships and such like that. And there was a day that my grandmother looked at me and was like, Brookie, you are carrying too much weight on your frame. And that really hurt because, I mean, at this point, I was pretty close to my heaviest. I was sitting at 215 pounds. This is about when I was about 25 years old. I was in the first year of RN school, and I was waddling. My feet hurt after 12-hour shifts, and I was just like, even my grandma thinks I'm fat. You know, I had tried all these diets, all these pills, all these supplements, all these things. But I never took the time to change my lifestyle. You know, there's so many empty promises in the fitness market. No one takes the time to discuss a fit mind. Fitness is a state of mind. You have to be awake. You have to make a conscientious decision every single day to make the lifestyle change. Excuse me, I have my notes over here so I stay on track. There was a day work did a test your numbers, and they tested my triglycerides. I had the lipid panel of an old man. Scary shit. I still didn't take it as a big warning sign. Okay, whatever. And then my 25th birthday came around. My grandma who called me fat had passed away earlier that year. And this was May of 2010. And she left me a little bit of money. And what she said really stuck, and it still sticks to this day. I'm like, holy shit, my grandma told me I was fat. I started with Jenny Craig. And with Jenny Craig, they taught me how to shop. They taught me accountability. They taught me a lot. But ultimately, it was the decision to push myself. 6 years ago this month, I had a very altering, life-changing event. I witnessed a very, very violent act. There's consequences I still deal with this day. Because of this act, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as generalized anxiety. And those are very scary things to have to deal with and cope with on your own, especially when all you've done is cope with food and your whole life with stress. And it was getting to the point with the generalized anxiety where I was having full-blown panic attacks. I was literally in the ER with a heart rate over the 200s. And it was a real wake-up call when I realized I need to find some way to beat this anxious energy out of me. So instead of using food as a coping mechanism, it made me manipulate food to where I'm in control of it, but also pushed me in the gym to beat the bad energy out. And that was when I was 25. And between my grandma calling me fat and this violent act, enough was enough. I pushed. 27, 28 years old, this is 2 years into my journey, 3 years in my journey. I plateaued at a weight of about 150. And that was the point where I was like, okay, now this really has to become a super conscientious decision every single day. And that's where I started preparing to compete. And that's where I've now taken my body to the next level. Not just generalized weight loss, but I've started to condition my body now. I have fallen in love with the process so much that I'm now making my life the process. And now here I am prepping for my third show. How have I stuck with this for 6 years? There's a multitude of reasons. But each person has to find their level of why. Why and what is your reason for doing it? This is more than a skin deep thing to try and go into for yourself. This is something that you have to mind, body, and spirit connect to make it happen and to make it stick. So many people go, oh, I'm going to go on a diet for my whatever event. Okay, cool. You lose 10 pounds, you have your event, and then what? There's no more reason why. You have to go and dig deep as to why you want to make a lifestyle change in anything: fitness, career, hobbies, your passion, starting a business. You have to find a legit long-term goal range reason why, not just this event in 3 weeks. How have I done this? I stayed consistent. I never gave up on myself. Anytime I stumbled, I looked back as to why. What was the challenge? What made me stumble? So on and so forth. I never allowed my weight to yo-yo. And I just kept as positive of an outlook as I could. I talked myself up. I built myself up. And that's a major problem with the fitness industry, is that none of them teach you how to love yourself. This is a very selfish process. You have to find and be okay with self-love. Why am I continuing to do this? Why am I competing? I don't want to go back to 215 pounds. That life sucked. I absolutely love myself now. And to be honest, I'm not jealous of other women anymore. I don't look at a fit woman or a skinny woman and go, I wish I was her, or try to pick her apart. You know, I look at other women now as an opportunity to help empower and enabling each other. All of us have stories, all of us have lessons that we've learned, and we can teach each other. I don't use food to cope anymore, which is awesome. I manipulate food into fuel now. And I just love eating for function. And your goal and your reason why is going to change. We all have our own stories, which is all going to give us our own reasons why. And with that, know that every single person is on their own journey. You cannot compare your journey to the next person's. They're not living your life. So, comment below, ask some questions. I am going to be trying to post almost weekly. This is just in general my story and why and how I've got a start. And this week I want you to reflect, like, why do you want to make this lifestyle change for yourself? Why do you want to lose weight? Why? And then find a long-term reason. Good luck to you guys. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you guys next week.